Hello everybody! Welcome to day 22 of Poems with PJ. It is lovely to have your company this afternoon. The sun is shining out there on the bright Pennine Hills. I am in a fantastic mood and I think everybody seems to have got a bit of a lift today. It's Superheroes Week here on Poems with PJ. We're going to be talking about all sorts of things that make us feel like superheroes, or maybe sometimes we think we're going to do something super villainous, or maybe somebody has done something pretty noble. And also we're going to be sharing your poems today. As you can see in our Superheroes Week, Spider-Man's up there, Wonder Woman's up there from yesterday, but actually we've got something very special this afternoon, and what I think is a true hero as well. And he's going to finish the show for us today. So what have we got in store? Well, I thought about a time where everybody suddenly looked to me as a leader. Because that's what a hero is sometimes, somebody to look to and go, oh, he's the one who will lead us. And this is how I felt. One day I was in a school and I did a poem all about school uniform. Now, we don't have to wear school uniform at the moment. I don't have to wear school uniform at the moment because I'm 42 years old. But you don't have to wear school uniform at the moment because you're at home all day. And actually, even if you're being homeschooled, I'm pretty certain that your people that are homeschooling you, I'm almost certain they don't make you put your school uniform on. Because when I used to wear school uniform, I used to find it really itchy and scratchy, and my jumper got all scratchy and it used to go up my arms, and I was worried about it. And actually, I said this poem to a school, and I got, I think, the loudest cheer I've ever got from an audience, right? And at the end, they all went, "Can you be our teacher?" I was like, "I can't be your teacher." And it was almost like there was a riot. I'd become their superhero for the day. And this one is simply called School Uniform. School uniform is really stiff. The teachers make us wear it. We whinge and moan, but they just say we have to grin and bear it. Some schools are red, some schools are blue, but always formal dress. There's no school chooses rainbows or a sparkly glitter dress. Some schools have blazers, shirts and ties. Some schools have itchy sweaters. But we would take it to the dump, if only they would let us. When I'm in charge, the uniform will all be thrown away. Then we can dress just how we want and party every day. And that got the biggest cheer I think I've ever got for any poem ever. And all the teachers around me started going, "No, you can't say that to children." Everyone all of a sudden think, "Does that mean we don't have to wear our uniform anymore?" And I said, "Sadly, children, you have to carry on wearing the uniform when you're in school." And of course, you're not in school at the moment. So there you go. No wonder I'm feeling good today. I have been looking through all sorts of different poems and poetry books, and lots of different authors. And I've been speaking to lots of authors, and I'm really excited that at the weekend I'm going to be able to have a phone conversation on my radio show with a friend of mine who is a brilliant author. Her name is Jo Cotterill. Now, Jo has written all sorts of books, and one of those books was this one. And you can see I've read this quite a lot, and it's called Jelly. Okay. Now, you might think that a book called Jelly might be about somebody who works in a kitchen, or about somebody who really likes eating jelly. But actually, Jelly is the name of one of her characters in the story. And one of the reasons why I love this story is that Jelly, her real name's Angelica, when she's writing the story, she also writes poems inside the story. So this next poem is by Jo, but it's not one of Jo's poems. It's one of Jelly's poems. And in the story, it's quite early on in the story, Jelly has quite a temper on her. And she says sometimes things she doesn't really mean. But this time, she was standing up for somebody because somebody had said something mean. At the end, it gets quite grumpy. And it says some words we probably shouldn't say. "I have a secret power. It lives inside my hands. It's deadlier than spiders and follows my commands. It burns right through your eyeballs. It suffocates your lungs. It stops your heart and brain and blood. It rips away your tongue. So when you next insult me or disappoint my mum, just think what I can do to you, you putrid red-faced scum. She gets really, really grumpy, and Jelly gets in quite a lot of trouble sometimes in the story for losing her temper with people. And I think that's probably the way we are sometimes. I bet you've probably had arguments with people at home, and you said all sorts of things you probably don't mean, but you were so annoyed at the time. I know I've done that sometimes. Well, the good news is that actually Jelly finds other ways, right, to say what she wants to without being quite so grumpy and mean. I really do recommend you read this story, Jelly. It's a fantastic book, and it's filled with poetry, and it's filled with great characters as well. I'm going to be talking to Jo at the weekend, and I'll be talking to her about this book and about this poem. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, Jo Cotterill has written one poem, but we know that you've been writing poems as well. And earlier on in the week, do you remember we were talking about acrostic poems? And we've got one up here, a Thank You NHS poem. And it was done by Anna. Now, it turns out Anna is quite a specialist in doing acrostic poems because she's written another one. This one's not about the NHS, but I thought I'd share it with you. And I'm going to tell you what it's about. You probably work out very quickly the kind of theme of the poem. But what you've got to see if you can work out as the acrostic is what the words are that go down the side. Okay? Before she said thank you to the NHS, but this time she's got a slightly longer poem. Wobbly teeth. Overgrown teeth. Buy yourself a home teeth. Big teeth. Little teeth. Yeti-like teeth with big feet. Tiny teeth. Enormous teeth. Eat all you want all day teeth. Though you can get all types of teeth, his and her teeth suit their face the best. I like the fact that his and her teeth suit their face the best. I don't think your teeth would look very good in your face. What do you think? Unicorn, I think your teeth wouldn't look very good in Triceratops. And Triceratops, I don't think your teeth would look very good in Mickey Mouse. I think everyone should have their own teeth. Does that make sense? I think it does. And that's another brilliant poem. And as you look, I've printed it out. And actually, I've put your acrostic word, your wobbly teeth. I've done it in nice colourful letters for myself. And I'm going to put that down the side here. Now, our last poem of the day is going to be about today's hero. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, he's got another Spider-Man or maybe it's Batman today or Superman or maybe it's Black Widow or one of the Avengers. Maybe Paul is going to dress up as the Hulk to do today's poem. Well, actually, today's poem is not going to involve a soft toy. We're going to put somebody else up here. We're going to put a picture up of somebody who's very, very special. And for me, is very much today's hero. First thing this morning, I saw an amazing person called Captain Thomas Moore. And he has been doing 100 laps of his garden. You might have seen him on the news. Here's a picture of him going around the garden with his frame, okay? And as you can see, right, he's a very old gentleman. He's actually 99 years old. 99 years old. That's even older than me. That's really... And he's been doing that, and it's almost his 100th birthday. And he decided that he was going to raise some money for the NHS, for the frontline staff, so maybe they could have the protective masks they need, or the gloves they need, or all of those things. He said, I'm going to do something to help them out. Now, originally, he wanted to raise about £1,000, and that's a lot of money to raise £1,000. And he just went off on his journey, and one by one, people noticed and went, oh, that's good. And he's been doing it. He wanted to do 100 laps of his garden. He did maybe 1 or 2 every day. Now, I've written this poem today, and I'm really, really pleased because it's been picked up by lots and lots of people, which means that loads of people care about his story. Lots of people have shared it. And actually, I'm going to be having a conversation tomorrow with one of our local radio stations all about it, because we want to get Tom's message out there as much as we possibly can. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about Tom afterwards, but this is called 100. 100 laps, 100 years. A nation moved to floods of tears by a man, a single man, whose attitude said, yes, we can. No loud fanfares or big campaigns. No banners flown from passing planes. No t-shirts, gimmicks, badges, bands. Celebrities? No. Just one man. In his garden. Slowly moving on. Doing his best for all of us. And so, Captain, we salute you. As you move to 101 and you've pledged to keep on going, as it seems you're never done. A heart so strong and dignified, it fills us with elation. Thank you, Captain Tom. You are the lifeblood of our nation. And as I say, that poem's now been shared quite a lot of times over on my Facebook page. And what's really lovely is that people are looking towards Tom now for a little bit of hope about what we can actually do. Because I know some of you are probably at home and going, oh, when is this going to finish? Well, actually, he said, it will finish. At some point, it will finish. And that message has travelled from person to person to person. And as we've done that, so has Tom's, this is Tom, remember. Do you remember he said he wanted to raise £1,000? Well, we're looking at the totaliser now. £14,413,283.96. That is a huge, huge amount of money that one man has been able to raise. And just think, if he can do that, just think what we could do if all of us did just one thing today to help somebody else. Think about what an amazing thing that would be for the world. And I'm glad my poem is helping to spread that message a little bit. And please do share it as much as you like, because that would be great. We will see you tomorrow. We're going to finish our Superheroes Week tomorrow we're going to write a brand new poem, just like we do every Friday. And tomorrow, the theme will be superheroes. So start thinking about superpowers that you might want your superheroes to have, or the colours of their costumes, or what their supervillains might be, or what sort of things might be their super weapons that they might have. Maybe they've got really cool technology, or cars they ride, or planes they fly in, or spaceships even. You can use anything in your imagination. We'll be back tomorrow for more poems with PJ. But in the meantime, stay safe, everybody, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.